What's up, guys? Today on All Sports Central, we'll be going over a final prediction on the Texas A&M Aggies. This is a team that went 9-4 last season, and it was overall a pretty good season for this team. Usually, they kind of hang right around that 9-win mark. As for the last decade, I mean, you're not much over it, not much under it. But for Texas A&M, how are they going to do in this 2019 season? They're pretty hyped up. I'm going to be going over whether that is reasonable here or not. They have their excellent quarterback in Kellen Mond. He is returning to this team next season. That's going to be huge. They lose their 1,700-yard rusher in Williams. That is going to be a huge loss, though, for this team. Wow. I mean, 1,700 yards, when you have that many yards and you're that much of an impact to this team, it's tough for me to believe that they're not going to have troubles having to replace him, or they're going to have troubles trying to replace him next season. They do have Corbin, Jashawn Corbin. He's their other top running back to return, but really unsure about that running back core next season. They lose their tight end Sternberger. He was a very key player for this team last season. And so, I mean, it's going to be tough to replace him too for Mond. But the thing is about Mond is that he's got all of his weapons back at the receiving core, including Davis, Buckley, Osborne, and Rogers. All of those are 350-plus yard receivers, so that's going to be great for him. All four of those were pretty used by Mond last season, it seems like. So that's good that he returns all his weapons, but once again, he doesn't return Sternberger, and he also loses his top rusher. So it'll be interesting to see how they replace that running back core. I do expect that to be kind of a questionable position, though, next season. They lose their top linebackers, Alake and Dodson, and their defensive backs, Wilson and Capers-Smith. They also lose Kiki and Durham. Sorry if I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong. You guys would probably know if I am or not. But they also lose all of their top six tacklers. Well, those six names right there are actually their top six tacklers from the 2018 season. Six very impactful defensive players from last season, and they're all losing them, and they're losing them all. So that's gonna be tough to overcome. They do return their next three best defenders in Mad something, and then Renfro and Pryor. So it'll be difficult for them on defense next season as well. And people are saying that, I mean, a few people are really high on this team just because, I mean, Jimbo Fisher and recruitment's doing pretty well and stuff like that. But I mean, you're losing a lot on defense, and then you're losing your top rusher. I mean, the offense really shouldn't be much of a problem next season, I don't think. But still, you're losing your top rusher that had 1,700 yards, and then you're losing a whole bunch on your defense, 6 of your top players. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough on defense next season. I mean, last season, this was a team that their defense was just stellar. So it'll be rough. It could be a little bit rough this season on defense. So kind of looking at something else. I mean, their offense, once again, looks great, but will the defense be able to hold up? Once again, it's going to be tough to say right now. Still pretty early on. Their schedule is also really difficult. We're going to get to that in a couple seconds. SEC championship chances. I mean, you got a really tough division to play in. You got Alabama to overcome. So it's going to be tough for this team to beat them. I don't expect them to make it to the SEC championship. I'd say it's a really low chance next season. But I do expect them to get a decent win mark. We're looking at a couple of stats here as well. I mean, Mond had 3,100 yards, and in 2018 total for Williams, he had over 2,000 yards total, and that is crazy. That's like quarterback numbers for some below average quarterbacks. So really, I mean, if you take that in perspective, that's a really tough loss there. But once again, looking at their schedule, you got Texas State to start off the season. That's going to be a win there. Very tough game on the road. And Clemson, that's going to be a loss, I think. I mean, most Texas A&M fans would like to say that they're going to win that game, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, Clemson's too good of a team right now, and being on the road at the beginning of the season, I don't see that one happening. Lamar, then, though, at home, you're going to win that game. Auburn, Arkansas, both of those tough wins. Alabama, then, at home, you're going to really want to win that game at home. It's going to be close. I do believe that will be a close game, and Alabama's going to have to make a run for their money there, but Texas A&M ends up winning that game. Or actually, no, Alabama ends up winning that game. Sorry. They got Ole Miss then the next week on the road. That's going to be an easy win. Mississippi State the next week. That'll be an interesting one. Mississippi State's going to be a sneaky team next year in the SEC. I don't expect them to do anything crazy like making it to a championship game, but I do expect them to possibly upset a couple of teams. UTSA, you're going to win that one. South Carolina, you're going to win that one as well. That's going to be a key win this season for Texas A&M, is winning that game. So coming into your final two games, you're 8-2. You're probably ranked at a decent position. But then you got two really tough road games. You got LSU and Georgia. I mean, both of those teams last season were great. I'm expecting them to be top 15 consistently next season as well. So both of those games being on the road, I don't see you winning any of those games. I think that you end up falling to 8-4 to finish off the season. You make it through bowl game, but it's not going to be too crazy of a season, I don't think. I mean, even though you're going to have a pretty decent offense next season, I think the defensive part is going to affect you. It affects a lot of teams. People always just kind of look at the offense and think, oh, their offense is going to be great, so this team is going to be great as well. We got to look at the defense as well, because the defense is just as important as the offense is. Once again, you're going to lose those two games to Georgia and LSU, I think. You end up going 8-4. I mean, overall, that's still a pretty good season. I mean, Texas A&M really hasn't had much of a down year in my memory, at least, for the past few years. So, overall, nothing out of the ordinary for Texas A&M. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this team in the comments below. Is this team going to be able to make 9 wins again, or are they going to make 10? Let me know your guys' thoughts. If I'm getting this wrong, be sure to let me know. If your opinion's different, just be sure to let me know, because I like to hear your guys' opinions. I'll try to answer you guys as much as I can. Stay tuned for more from previews. Well, I've got more previews coming over the next few weeks. So stay tuned for more from All Sports Central.